Good morning, everyone. Let's get cooking and let's start with Hollandaise sauce. Hello everyone, welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we upload videos, and every Sunday we host a live stream affectionately coined Coffee Talk, where we make a warm beverage, talk about its origins and history, and then chat amongst ourselves. This morning I am going to make a Hollandaise sauce, and I'm not going to tell you it's a traditional Hollandaise sauce because there are a couple things that I do differently than your classic Hollandaise. And we'll talk about that as we go along, but I'll go over ingredients real quick. I've got 4 egg yolks, I've got a tablespoon of lemon juice, I have a 1/4 cup of water, and we won't use all of that, and then I've got 1 stick of melted butter. So then I've got salt, pepper, and I've got some flat iron pepper, chili flakes, and today I chose the Asian red flavor. I like the way it blends with the citrus, and it really hits it off well with my profile of Hollandaise. So some of this will be a little boring because it's a lot of whisking, and I know you can look up blender Hollandaise and all that kind of stuff. I just find that I like this better, but all of the other sauces are just as delightful, and I'll fill some of the time with the whisking when we're on there and teach you a few other things. So what we start though is with our ingredients, and into our bowl I'm going to put in these egg yolks. Boy, these are some thick and rich egg yolks. I got these from Modern Twist Urban Farm, well, small farm, and they are some lovely people, but these egg yolks are super rich. Now I did save off the egg whites upstairs. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them, but I think maybe even this morning I might poach some more eggs to have underneath this sauce, and then maybe make myself an egg white bun. But basically we're just dumping everything in. Set stuff to the side. A little sploosh of the water. Like I said, I'm not going to use all of it, but you kind of eyeball it a little bit. You don't want it to be too watery, but you do need a little bit to thin it down. Salt and pepper is more or less to taste, but I'll tell you, I'll pour it right in my hand. It's about maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, half, call it a skosh, whatever you want to do. You don't have to be like uber precise. It sounds like it because people make a large deal out of Hollandaise, you know, because it is a mother sauce. And by mother sauce, that means it's one of the basic 5 sauces that lead out into a lot of adventuresome cooking. And again, pepper is alternative, it's to taste. A lot of people will tell you don't add these up front and wait until after you're almost done and use it to finish the sauce. I have not found it to make a huge difference, and I like it in at the beginning, except for when I dump pepper all over my table. Let me just grab that, put it here. And so the first thing we're going to do is set my spatula over to the side. Is you need to whisk your eggs and your ingredients together, and you need to do this until it gets a little thickened, which sounds a little crazy. I forgot the peppers. This, by the way, is the actual grinder from Flat Iron Pepper. You don't have to be super aggressive. You saw with the salt, I ground and ground and ground and ground. A lot happens with this, and you really don't need a lot. Just a little bit for taste. But you should know these grinders, they're a little pricey, but they are fantastic for chili flakes. I tried one with some other spices, didn't work so great. It seems very specific to the chili flakes. However, it works with all chili flakes because I've got some where I've put my own in there. stop talking, Maitreya, and get to whisking. But yeah, so I've got some of my own in there, and they've been great. But this is actually the flat iron Asian red. It's kind of almost a little bit sweet, but it's a little bit of a tang, so it blends well with the acid. So now when you first start whisking your yolks, if you've done this probably with eggs too during baking, and they're a little bit thin when you first start whisking, but as you keep going, and by the way, yes, I'm using my little springy whisk. It's my preferred whisk for hollandaise and hollandaise based sauces. I find it aerates really well, plus it takes a little bit of the pressure off your arm from whisking for a lot of time. But probably today what I'm doing with this hollandaise sauce is I'm going to take it and I will poach off some eggs. We actually have some really nice Canadian bacon that we had picked up, and so I'm thinking that we might make ourselves almost like a keto egg benedict. Maybe I should have done the whole video and made it from start to scratch, but I feel like that's a long time, and really I just want to help you get some basics. We've talked about this a lot on the Two Crazy Ketos family, and inevitably someone always says recipe, and I realize not everybody has foundations of cooking, and I think it's great to learn how to do some of these things. So what you'll notice is there'll become a difference as you whisk in your egg yolks. Not only when they get frothy, but the yolk itself winds up getting a little bit thicker than it was when you first put it in there, even with the water. And that is what you're looking for while you start your hollandaise sauce. Now, I will also tell you, it might be a little awkward this morning because I'm using a clear bowl. I thought it might be easier for you to see it. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe I would have been better off just using my normal bowl. I have a larger metal bowl, so it fits over the top of the pan a little better. This one kind of sinks in, so I'll have to pay attention because I can't use as much hot water. There you go. So now you can see the egg yolks are definitely way thicker than we started out with. And you can see that the volume increased quite a lot in the bowl. And that is what you're looking for. And now we'll just bring my heat source over, drop my pan, make a lot of noise for you. Let me turn it on. You're going to have the heat, I just need to pay attention, on a fairly low. And that is because I cheated and I heated up my water. And I've got the water at about 175. You just want to keep it steamy. You don't want boiling. That will scramble your eggs faster than anything else. If you scramble your eggs from when you're making hollandaise, add in a couple eggs and then scramble them off in a pan and just eat eggs, they'll be a little bit weird from all the citrus, but it's no good for hollandaise. Once they scramble, there's no saving it. It's unfortunate, and that's part of why it has such a reputation. But, so you keep your water, and you want to keep it hot and warm, but not boiling. Just a little bit on the steaming side. So, but the next step is to go ahead and you just bring your bowl right over. Yeah, I guess you can't really see it that well because it sinks in. And you just keep whisking. As the steam heats up the bowl, eventually what you're going to see is all of a sudden, and it takes some time, it does take time, the yolks are suddenly going to suddenly become a very thick sort of creamy, and that's when the butter comes in. When I said I was doing some different from a classic hollandaise, that's my difference. It's the butter. Normally, and I totally encourage you to try that, you would use a clarified butter. And not only am I too lazy to clarify butter, I also am a long-term keto person, which means I always want more salt. Nothing ever tastes salty enough. If I have something and it's salty, someone who's not keto is going to taste it and they're going to want to spit it out from how salty it is. There's never enough salt. So I've got just regular salted butter, and I'm going to use the whole thing. I'm not clarifying it or anything, and that's the big difference, and that's why this is not a proper hollandaise. It would be proper if I clarified my butter. So I'm just going to wait for a second. And while I'm whisking, and my arm is like already tired. I'm going to wish I had brought my glass of water down, but I'm going to keep whisking because you can't really stop. That's the thing. That's the other important part, and that's why people start thinking Hollandaise is very finicky. It is, but it's also, as you can see, not real hard. Now, I mentioned that Hollandaise is a mother sauce, and that means that a mother sauce is one of 5 basic sauces that you use to build out other things. So what does that mean? So if you start with this Hollandaise sauce, and instead of the lemon juice, you use white wine vinegar, and you saute off some shallots and tarragon into the butter, and you use that as you drizzle in. Then you're going to have béarnaise. Béarnaise sauce you would serve like over grilled meats. It's really good with steaks. The next sauce, actually, you make Hollandaise and then you add Dijon. That's a Dijon sauce. Super great. Often served with like over savory bread puddings. I know we don't have a lot of bread puddings on keto, but we do have some, and usually using the egg bread. So a Dijon sauce is great on that, especially good if you make like a ham and Gruyere bread pudding, or if you make keto crepes, the savory kind with maybe a little shallots or chives in it. That's where your Dijon sauce comes in. It's super fantastic. Also, the Dijon sauce makes an excellent dipping for the keto Cristo sandwiches, like the Monte Cristo, the keto Cristos that you got off of the Hungry Heath channel. If you're part of the Hungry Horde and you saw those, the Dijon sauce would be a perfect accompaniment for it. The next sauce would be a Foyo sauce, and that is if you take your Hollandaise sauce and turn it to béarnaise sauce, and then you whisk in some beef stock or any meat stock, a really rich, strong meat stock, and that becomes Foyo sauce, which is super good. Also served with your grilled meats, so great with steaks, pork chops, pork loin roast that you've done on your smoker or griller. That's what you do with the Foyo sauce. Boy, these are taking a long time to whisk up, but as you can see on my shirt, the steam is starting to build up, and it will happen. It's coming. Maybe whisk a little more vigorously here because I'm getting lazy. The next sauce is not the most keto friendly, but you could certainly enjoy it on a day when you're including a little carbs from some veggies. Would be a Sharon sauce, and that is after you have your Hollandaise sauce, actually your béarnaise sauce. Sorry, you start with Hollandaise and then the next step up is the béarnaise. But so béarnaise sauce, you take your béarnaise sauce and you toss it in the blender with some tomato puree. That would be your Sharon sauce. Super, super excellent, again, with steaks, grilled steaks, and chicken. I don't like it on fish, but I think that some people do. It's not good on veggies. I don't know why. It just doesn't go. Oh, I do have my water. Excellent. Why was I letting myself go thirsty? I'm having a morning. But it is a weekend morning, and such is life. So my egg yolks are taking a long time to thicken, but I have one more sauce to talk to you about. And this sauce, unfortunately, is not a keto sauce, and I've tried a couple different variations to recreate the taste, and it's just not there. I tried using True Orange, the crystals, and I've even tried powdering them a bit, a combination of the True Orange and the True Lime, and it's not quite, it just didn't come together. But that would be the Maltaise sauce. And Maltaise sauce is taking your Hollandaise and you blend in blood orange juice. Now, pre-keto, we would have this sauce and it would be super excellent on vegetables, especially green vegetables like broccoli, asparagus, and Brussels sprouts. And you guys, it has just happened. I know my bowl is hot, but I'm going to bring it over so you can see. And there you go. It's happening. I'm going to turn my heat down just a smidge. Oops, that was up. Keep whisking, keep whisking. Adjust your heat. It's gone. It's super thick. And now you just barely start drizzling in the butter, making sure that with each drizzle you give it a heavy whisk. And what's going to happen is that butter is magic, and it gets like super thick and creamy and viscous. So just keep whisking and just very slowly drizzle it in. 100%. Just keep whisking. And right now it is getting super thick. If at any time you notice that your sauce gets too thick, that is why we have extra hot water to the side. You just add a little teeny bit. But I'm almost done incorporating the butter. And I'm sorry, we've got some water running in the background. These things happen. We live here, so sometimes other people in the house are not always knowledgeable when I have decided to start filming randomly and not inform anybody. So, and here we are. It's Hollandaise. So let me pull this over gently. And it's really hot, so I'm going to get my little gripper so I can hold up the bowl for you and show you. It is super thick and creamy. It's too hot, so it's just fogging up the camera. But it is a delightful sauce. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it and show you guys. But you can see how it coats into my whisk. It's totally thick and just umptious. The umami off of it, and the tang from the citrus, just utter perfection. So that is how you make hollandaise sauce. And as you can see, it took some time and it took some whisking, but it was not that bad. So hope you enjoy, and we'll see you real soon now. Thanks. Bye bye. Oh, I always forget the YouTube stuff. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you are a member of our little community, and then make sure you hit the little bell icon so you're notified every time we upload. And I look forward to seeing you on Cheese Friday and then on Sunday night on our live stream. Thanks. Bye bye.